The Lollujo World Tour continues this weekend. If you're going to be at Birmingham Comic Con at the NEC on Saturday, what a coincidence. I'm going to be there too. So perhaps you should hit me up on Twitter at Lollujo, or let me know down in the comments and we can meet up and share a handshake and a chat about Football Manager. Won't that be grand? Hello and welcome to Season 2, Part 2 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have two games in the Conference North. Firstly at home against Henford and then away against Salford, because we have to play Salford in a live com. SEO, innit? Blame Dr. Benji. Since you were last with me, I've discovered that the 4-3-1-2 tactic that we thought was going to be brilliant, not so much. We persisted with it for the first 3 games of the season. In the end, you saw us lose on the first day against Alfreton. It got worse from there. We lost 3-0 at home to Halifax, 2-0 away against Blythe. We weren't scoring goals. Nathan Jarman got himself sent off in the Halifax game and then got a 3-match ban, I think. And we also picked up injuries to our 2 attacking midfielders, Pepper and Carnero. We tried to do a 5-3-2 in the next game against Worcester. That didn't work either. So we went out, we hit the transfer market up. There's a returning hero at Gainsborough. He's not anyone you'd have heard of unless you're a real life Gainsborough fan, but Stephen Brogan, 29-year-old left winger, who was at Gainsborough for a couple of years before I turned up. He spent the season at North Ferriby last year, but he's now back, and since he has returned and been in the team, we're on a bit of an unbeaten run. A left winger, I hear you say, Kev. Why on earth would you need a left winger with the tactics you've been talking about? I'm glad you asked. We've switched to a kind of lopsided 4-4-2, mainly because new star man Jordan Wright, as you can see, he's scored there and there and there. We identified in the last episode that he was a right winger, but unfortunately he's natural as a right winger, but not so much as a right-sided midfield player, whereas Brogan is a left-sided midfield player who can sort of play on the wing. But we don't really want to do a proper 4-2-4. I think you probably see where I'm going here. We brought in our new tactic here. It took a few games for it to bed in, 3 straight draws, but since then we've had 3 straight wins, scored 4 goals in each of the last 2 games. Yes, one of them was in the FA Cup against Banbury, so it doesn't really count, but we're scoring goals, we're winning matches, we're on an unbeaten run, and this is the tactic that's doing it. So, like I say, bit of a lopsided 4-4-2. And this is the team that we're going to be playing in today's game against Henford. So we're going to have Willis in goal, a back 4 of Roberts, Cook, Masonda and Challoner, with Picton and Witham both as ball-winning midfielders. Picton on defend, Witham as support. Usually that would be Sam Wright, but he's picked up an injury. Yeah, he's going to be out for 7 to 8 weeks. Matt Sparrow would be the obvious replacement, other than the fact that he's announced his retirement. He's winding down a bit. He's not been the same player this year. You can see we've only started him 4 times. So we've moved Picton up out of the defence, and it's a way to get Frankie Masonda into the side, who hasn't been playing enough games for the quality that he gives us. Brogan is then going to be on the left-hand side of the midfield, with Jordan Wright as a winger on the right-hand side of midfield. And then we've got Parker and Madeley up front, who have 7 goals between them so far this season, and they're 7 goals in the last 3 or 4 games, really. Nathan Jarman is back from his suspension, but as you can see, he is not the same player he was before his injuries. 31 years old now, or 30 years old? How old are you? Yeah, 31 years old. He's just lost a little bit of that special something. Hopefully he'll get it back as he gets games under his belt, but he's not going to be starting games for us anytime soon. 6 appearances, 0 goals, just the 1 assist, a terrible average rating, especially based on the standards he set for himself last year. He's going to be sat there on the bench. He'll get opportunities to come on, but for now we're going to go with Madeley, who got a hat-trick in the last game against Banbury and just has been playing really well, at 7.8 over the last 5 games. Even when he wasn't scoring, he was creating a lot. And Joe Parker has 4 goals from 4 starts. He's the young lad who came in from Gloucester. Yeah, they're both scoring. And that front 3, and yeah, it is a front 3 because as far as the Football Manager is concerned, we're playing a 4-3-3 asymmetric. This isn't a 4-4-2 lopsided, which I think is the technical term. It's a 4-3-3 asymmetric. So our front 3 have got, 10 goals in probably the last 5 games. So they're doing all right. We're we've tried to keep things as simple as possible, so we're on a standard mentality, flexible shape. We've got 3 instructions on there, so we're going to pass into space. Of course, we're not any good, so we're just going to play sort of school playground style, kick it forward and chase onto it. We're trying to stay on our feet because we picked up a couple of red cards early on. I think Jarman and Sam Wright both picked up red cards early on in the season. I mean, if you had to pick, it would always be them two. And we're also going to prevent short goalkeeping distribution. We play with a defensive forward and a pacey attacking forward. So it just makes sense to have the two of them chasing around like nutcases, just on the off chance that the opposition try and play football. Nope, not having that. We're here with our 2 ball-winning midfielders and our quick strikers. This is kick and run. Don't you be trying to pass it out to your back four and play nice football. Kick and run. That's what we want to do. So after, as you know, whenever I introduce a new tactic and give it a big build-up like this one, it is compulsory that we then lose the next game. So as good as it has been, obviously we're going to lose today at home against Henford. As you can see, that little run of form that we've been on has actually taken us to the lofty heights of 16th in the league, and the Chapman ratio's kicked in. We've got 9 points from 9 games. We know it wasn't quite enough last year. We think last year was a bit of a fluke. The Chapman ratio should be fine. But we don't want to just be thinking about escaping relegation. We want to win these 2 games today, get ourselves up into mid-table, and see where we can go from there. We're going to try and pretend those first 4 or 5 games of the season where I think we went 5 games without a win. We're going to pretend none of that happened, and it sort of all kicks off from game 6 where we've looked really good. Promotion form from game 6 onwards. Hopefully we didn't leave it all too late. Right, Madley with a free kick with less than a minute on the clock. Oh, I thought he was going to stick it in the top corner and I was going to go giddy. Oh, goodness me. Challoner hasn't played a massive... Oh, Parker's in. There you go. It's not as giddy because it's not a free kick, but that's less than 3 minutes on the clock. Madley with the cross, Parker with the goal. This is why Nathan Jarman's not in the team. Madley works so hard. He's just involved in everything. Like I say, he's not scored a league goal yet, but was very good against the Minnows in the last game. But look at that. I mean, he just determination to get that ball across, and it's played across perfectly to Parker, who just tucks it away. I think that's his 5th goal in 5 games since he's been in the team. So, you know, positive stuff. Look, that would put us on 12 points, up to 15th place. Relegation, yeah, we spit on relegation. As I was saying about Challoner, he's not played a massive number of games. I know he's our £50 record signing, but Jack Gurr's been quite good. And so they're kind of battling each other for that starting spot on the right-hand side of the defence at the moment. Challoner gets the nod today, mainly because we spent all that money on him, and you lot would shout at me if I spent all that money and didn't play him. There you go, Wright's in. What can he do? Jordan Wright makes it his 4th goal from 5 games since we've been playing this system. I really like this player. It's... When you really think about it, it's only a slight modification to the 4-3-1-2. We've just shoved Wright out wide where he does things like this. He gets a lot of space playing in that gap between the defence and the midfield. They don't seem to be able to pick him up. He drifts in field, scores goals, creates goals. Madley's got 2 assists already. Told you he was good. And this is all getting positive. My league table is still all stretched from the end of last season when we cared about goal difference. Let's unstretch it and get it out of the way. It's unsightly taking up part of the pitch. Hopefully that wasn't the lucky charm, and by doing that we're probably going to go and lose 4-0 or something now. You don't expect much in the way of possession or pretty football from the way we're lining up. We've got our 2 ball-winning midfielders in there, and the midfield is just there to crunch players. Right, crosses to Madley, and now the whole of the front 3 have got a goal, a reward for their efforts. Sam Madley with his 1st goal in the league. There's only half an hour on the clock, and this front 3 play brilliantly together. How on earth is Nathan Jarman going to get back in this team? Look at that, it's a lovely header as well. We have, 7 players, 8 players even. Well, Brogan sort of drifts into the attacks occasionally, but he's really just there because his left foot is useful for something other than just standing on. And he can take a corner. There you go. But really, we've got 7 players who just sit behind the ball, kick anyone who comes near them, lump the ball up to the front 3 when needed. Brogan's there to try and bridge the gap a little bit and take the corners apparently, and then the front 3 are just there. The ball's being kicked into space. They just chase onto it and do what they can. I mean, that's awful defending there. Look how many men over we've got there. Challoner massively out of position. That must have led from a corner or something from us for us to have so many players so far out of position. Hopefully, just just a fluke incident. You can see both our central midfielders already on yellow cards. This is why we've had to put the stay on feet instruction on, because they were just getting themselves too many fouls, too many bookings, red cards, etc. Because they are just in there to chase around and tackle. Picton, what on earth is he doing? He's a centre-back. You might be playing in midfield today, young man. That doesn't mean you can get above your station and start having shots, especially not from there. I don't mind you nodding in a corner, but that was just wasteful. Right, Madley again getting out into the channels, Challoner with the cross, and it's not a very good one. But I do like this system. I mean, it's ugly to watch. It's ugly but effective. We just get the ball forward quickly. We've got pace in our attack now. We've got power up there as well. We are still a little bit weak at the back, and they should have scored there. It should be 3-2. We are susceptible to that a little bit, and I don't really know how. We've got a proper flat back four that doesn't really push on, and two crunchers in front of them. But for whatever reason, we do still leave ourselves exposed at the back from time to time. But I'm enjoying it. I like this system now. But you see, you've got positive Kev again today. We're getting Matt Sparrow on for Witham. I want to get Nathan Jarman in, but I mean, who'd you bring him on for in these circumstances? There's just no way to get him on the pitch. I think what we will do is bring on Jack Gurr, because I am blaming Challoner for being out of position for their goal. So Gurr can come on at right back. I guess it's the hardest position in this lineup to play, that right back, because he's a right back with no one in front of him offering any support, because Jordan Wright just stays up. He doesn't do any kind of tracking back at all. Brogan's in now, crosses. It's a bit too long. Finds Wright does brilliantly to skip round his man and get the cross, and it's not the best cross in the world, but it caused panic in the penalty area. I'm hoping that at 3-1 up with 10 minutes to go, we should be fairly safe in this game. We're going to take off Joe Parker and get Nathan Jarman on just to try and get some game time into him. Now we're playing well again. It might be the time for Nathan Jarman to try and rediscover some of his previous form, but I don't know. I worry that, I mean, it was a long injury, a serious injury for a player of his age as well, with the fact we didn't have doctors. We just sent him to Boots for a tubey grip and some ibuprofen, which is why it took him so long to recover. And I don't know. I'm worried about the lad. But I'm not worried about the fact that we've picked up a 3-1 win. We're up to 15th in the league, 12 points from 10 games. It's all looking up. Let's go and play Salford. Right, no changes to personnel for the Salford game. There is a slight tweak to the tactic. So if we lose, blame my assistant manager, because this is all on him. He said, to improve our chances of winning this game, remove the stay on feet instruction. That's not going to end well. And add be more disciplined. So we've done it. If it doesn't work, we ignore everything he says for the rest of time now. But other than that, everything's the same. We've now won 4 games on the bounce. We're unbeaten in 7. The media are saying we're performing above all expectations. Cue a defeat. Salford are below us in the league, actually. So, wouldn't it be nice to win 5 on the bounce? I don't know if we've ever won 5 games in a row. This would be crazy talk. I think we're probably already in nosebleed territory, being up to 15th in the league. So we're going to be brought back down to earth eventually. But Joe Parker's decided that day is not today, at least not immediately today. Because I think, identical to the last match, he's put us 1-0 up after 3 minutes. Was it Parker after 3 minutes in the last game? I think it might have been. Roberts with the cross. And it just, Parker, that's a nice finish, actually. Tight angle-ish. Tight angle for this level. Near post. Tucks it away beautifully. 5 in 6 now for Joe Parker. He's in some good form. He's just decided Nathan Jarman's never going to play for the club again. Or at least he's decided he's never going to be on the pitch long enough to score a goal for us again. Madley puts Parker through again. Surely you can't grab another one. He squares it for Madley, who, I would have headed that better than that. Oh. I can't criticise him too much because he has been brilliant, but that was a poor header. See, he's more of a creator, which is odd because he's our advanced forward, but he's not much of a finisher, is he? Talking of not much of a finisher, goodness me, that was awful. I've just seen how far ahead at the top of the league Boston are. We can't be having this. We need to get up there with them. Oh, see, that's silly talk. We're still not very good. We shouldn't be thinking of challenging Boston. They're 10 points ahead of us. Oh, right, Willis has decided he's just going to dribble all the way with it. He finds Madley, knocks it down to Wright. Wright loses the ball. Willis has managed to scamper back, luckily. Challoner gets in with a nice interception. Joe Parker's through again. It's 2-0. Joe Parker is a goal machine. That's his 7th of the season now. Nathan who? Yeah, exactly. So that's a ball over the top from Wright this time. It was actually about as far deep as I've ever seen Jordan Wright be. Their keeper should have done better with that, really. But Parker doesn't care. 2-0. He's he wants a hat-trick now. Why not? He saw Madley get a hat-trick in the FA Cup game. He's decided he wants a match ball as well. His kids want to have a kick around. Can't afford a football for home at this level. The only way you get one is by earning one with a hat-trick. So that's what he's got to do. He wants his own. Imagine how good he'll be if he has a football to train with at home. There's his incentive. He'll probably end up in the Premier League if he gets a hat-trick today. Right, I tend to disregard the stats a little bit at the moment because they don't usually look very good on us. I mean, that's just efficient, isn't it? Corner, he's hit that pretty hard. I don't know if that's a header or a volley. It looks like it's a volley. I mean, it's just, he's hit it hard. It's a good little finish. We should never be letting anyone have all the space to make a finish like that. We should be getting the challenge in. Where's our ball-winning midfielders? Why is there no one in there crunching? Right, Brogan's won the ball back. We've not seen much of him yet, but he plays Parker in nicely. Parker tries to cross, finds no one. Brogan tries to find Madley. Now Wright has a go at it. Oh, shots ahoy, but none of them achieve a goal, which I believe is the purpose of them. Challoner to right, crosses. Parker's got his hat-trick. He's won himself a ball. Wowzers. There you go. Think of all the training. We can stop paying him midweek now. He doesn't need training. He can just do it all in his garden. Kicking a ball against a wall. It's how we all learn. And again, their goalkeeper should have done better. He's going to be very disappointed with his performance today. But I'm happy with it. I'll be brutally honest. I'm very happy with his performance today. I might try and sign him. Right, we just need... I mean, look... Let's not alarm anyone or get too carried. Picked him with a nice little challenge there. As it stands right now, we're in the top half of the table. This is unheard of, and I think Salford are going to put us back in our place. There you go. They've pulled one back already. Just that in itself puts us back in our rightful place in the bottom half of the league table. Again, I don't really know what's going on here vis-a-vis defending. Doesn't seem to be... I mean, who was that? Masonda, presumably. He was just kind of having a look. Caught ball watching, we'll call that. We'll use technical football terminology. He was caught ball watching. Didn't realise there was a player behind him who the ball was then going to go to for him to score a goal. I will chalk it up to experience and not worry about it unless he does it again. Right, Masonda knocks it back to Willis. Withams, what's he doing all the way out there? We've only got one cruncher in the middle at the moment. Withams made his way back though. Madley, can he whip? He whips in another. Joe Parker's got his fourth. He's scored 4 goals. Do we take the ball back off him now? I don't know what the protocol is for this. Madley, not happy that he hadn't got an assist yet today, just sticks it on Joe Parker's head. There you go, 4-2. I'm going to beat Nathan Jarman's goal scoring record by Christmas. That's my new plan. I don't even remember in the last episode whether we identified Parker as the one we were excited about. I don't think we did. But I'll go back and edit that. It's fine. Let's just assume I was excited about him. If you go back and check now, and I do say I'm excited about him, that means I've already got in there and done the edit. Our defending has been shocking today. Hopefully it won't matter because we'll just keep scoring goals. But again, completely unmarked. We're putting the blame on Challoner again for that one. Between Challoner and Masonda, I don't think either of them are very good at defending, which is something of a problem as they're supposed to be defending. I might just take them both off. Let's take them both off. We'll have a look at James Tunnicliffe. I don't think I've seen him play yet, or not enough to write home about. And Gurr can come on as well. I mean, there you go. There's a tactical change. We've identified that's where their goals are coming from. And we've solved the problem. I mean, Tunnicliffe might be rubbish. It might have only exacerbated the problem. But we know Jack Gurr's reliable and probably due another run in the team because Challoner's not really impressing anyone. But it's the weight of the fee on his shoulders. You know, you spend £50 on a player, you put so much pressure on him. Right, Jarman can come on, but he's not having his preferred defensive forward position because Joe Parker's got, 5 goals from there this episode? So Jarman can have a go at being the advanced forward and he'll like it because he should have scored. I mean, this is his 8th game of the season now and he's not scored yet. If he wants to play in his preferred position, he might want to start scoring some goals. He can't find right, and hopefully we're not going to pay for that. I mean, it was an ambitious pass. Tunnicliffe intercepts with a nice header. Roberts now does the same. Parker, Joe Parker's there. Brogan keeps the ball in. excellently on a mazy little run. Parker somehow made it back up into their penalty area. Slot set across for Jordan Wright. His 5th goal in 6 games now. We are back up in the top half of the league. Surely we can hold on to this 2-goal cushion for the next couple of minutes now and just sort of sit there and celebrate being top half of the league. I'm a little bit worried because Jordan Wright's on non-contract at the moment, and if I was managing someone else and someone was performing as well as he is, I'd be right in there. So we might have to tie him down for a contract, but I don't think we've got any money. Oh, we've not made it into the top half. Ah, never mind. They're 15 points off 11 games. That'll do. We'd have taken that at the start of the season, and we've certainly taken 12th place. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.